Hello, it's great to see you again on the Clever Tricks channel. Have you ever bought a bunch of fresh dill, only to find that after just a few days in the refrigerator, it had turned yellow, become limp, and developed an unpleasant smell? What many people don't realize is that the problem isn't the dill itself, it's the way we store it. But don't worry. In today's video, I'll share 4 highly effective methods for storing dill that I've been using for many years. Best of all, the 4th method can keep your dill fresh and flavorful for up to 6 months. You'll definitely want to give it a try. Let's get started. When you bring the dill home, don't rush to put it straight into the refrigerator. First, open the bunch and inspect it carefully. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Remove any sprigs that are yellow, bruised, slimy, or have an unusual smell. Even just a few damaged pieces mixed in can cause the entire bunch to spoil much more quickly. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Next, place the dill on a cutting board and trim off the roots before washing it. Then, place the dill in a bowl of clean water. Since dill leaves are very thin and delicate, you shouldn't scrub them vigorously while washing. Simply use your hand to gently swish the dill around a few times so the dirt and sand can settle to the bottom. If the dill was purchased from a local market or is particularly dusty, you can soak it in clean water for 3 to 5 minutes, then rinse it once more. One very important point is that after washing, the dill must be dried thoroughly. This is the step that many people tend to overlook. If the dill is still wet when you place it in the refrigerator or freezer, it can easily become bruised, limp, and develop an unpleasant smell. You can spread the dill out on a clean towel or paper towels, then gently pat it dry. Do not rub it vigorously because the leaves are very delicate and can easily be crushed. If you have the time, let the dill rest on the towel for about 10 to 15 minutes so any remaining moisture can evaporate. When you touch it and feel that there is no longer much moisture left on the surface, it's ready to be stored. Method 1. First, separate the dill into individual sprigs and gently use your hands to separate the tender leaves from the thicker stems. If the stems are still young and fragrant, you can keep them to use in soups or broth. However, if you only prefer the fine leaves for garnishing dishes, separate the leaves from the stems. Lay a sheet of plastic wrap on the counter. Spread the dill leaves over it in a moderate layer, making sure they are not piled too thickly. If the layer is too thick, moisture will have difficulty escaping, causing the dill to become soft more quickly. Next, gently roll up the plastic wrap as if you were making a small herb roll. There's no need to roll it too tightly. The goal is simply to keep the leaves neatly together without crushing them. Once rolled, place it in the refrigerator. Whenever you need some dill, simply take the roll out, cut a small section from one end, remove the amount you need, then wrap it back up and continue storing it. This method is very convenient because you don't have to unwrap the entire bunch every time. The dill has already been cleaned and prepared, so when you're cooking, you can simply take out what you need and use it immediately. This method works well for storing dill for a few days up to about 1 week. It's perfect for everyday meals, especially when you only need a small amount of dill to sprinkle over eggs, potatoes, grilled fish, or sauces. However, there's one small but very important detail. This method only works well if the dill has been dried thoroughly. If there's still moisture on the leaves when you roll them up, they'll quickly become soft and may even turn slimy. So, take the time to dry the dill carefully right from the very beginning. Where are you from? It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Method 2. If you buy a large amount of dill or want to store it for a longer period, freezing is a very practical option. After washing and drying the dill thoroughly, place it on a cutting board. Use a sharp knife to chop it. There's no need to chop it too finely, just enough to make it convenient for cooking. If you don't like eating the stems, you can use only the leaves. However, if the stems are still young and fragrant, you can certainly use both the leaves and the stems. Dill stems also have a pleasant aroma and are perfect for soups, fish dishes, or broths. After chopping, transfer the dill to a clean, dry food storage container with a tight-fitting lid. You can also use a zip-top bag to save space. Do not pack it too tightly. Keep the dill slightly loose so it will be easier to remove later. A helpful tip is to divide it into several small portions, with each portion being just enough for one meal. This way, you won't have to open the entire container every time you cook. Seal the container tightly and place it in the freezer. When you're ready to use it, there's no need to thaw it. Simply take out the amount of frozen dill you need and add it directly to the dish you're cooking. The heat will quickly soften the dill, allowing its fresh aroma to spread throughout the dish. However, after freezing, the dill will no longer look as fresh as it did originally. The leaves may become softer. Therefore, this method is not suitable for garnishing salads, but it is extremely convenient for cooking. This method can preserve dill for many weeks, or even longer if it is stored in an airtight container and kept in a stable freezer. It is one of the most practical storage methods for households that regularly use fresh herbs. Method 3. This method is very convenient. Just like in the previous method, chop the dill after it has been washed and dried thoroughly. Then, place the chopped dill into an ice cube tray, filling each compartment with a moderate amount. Pour in enough clean water to completely cover the dill. If you'd like the cubes to look neater, use a spoon to gently press the dill down so it stays submerged in the water. Once the cubes are completely frozen, remove them from the tray. transfer them to a zip-top bag or an airtight container and continue storing them in the freezer. This method helps save space and makes the dill even more convenient to use. Whenever you're cooking, simply take out 1 cube and add it directly to soups, fish dishes, potatoes, or hot sauces. As the cube melts, the dill blends into the dish and releases a wonderfully fresh aroma. What do you think of this method? Let me know in the comments. Method 4. After letting the dill drain, I use only the leaves and remove the stems. Spread the dill evenly on the tray of the air fryer, making sure the layer is very thin and not overcrowded. If you add too much at once, the top layer will dry out while the bottom layer stays damp. Because the leaves are very thin and burn easily, you should avoid using high heat. Choose the lowest temperature setting on the air fryer, around 80 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. If your air fryer has a drying mode, use that setting. If not, dry the dill at a low temperature in several short rounds. Dry it for a few minutes at a time, then open the fryer to check. Gently stir the leaves and continue drying. Don't leave it unattended for too long because dill dries very quickly and can darken easily if the heat is too high. The goal is not to make it crispy or burnt, but to dry it gently while still preserving its natural aroma. When the leaves become dry, slightly crisp, and no longer damp, remove them and let them cool completely. Do not place them into a jar while they are still warm, because the remaining heat can create moisture and ruin the dried herbs. Once completely cooled, place the dried dill into a clean, dry glass jar with a tight-fitting lid. It's such a joy that we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support. Store it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight and high temperatures. With this method, you'll have a wonderfully fragrant jar of dried dill in your kitchen. Whenever you cook fish, potatoes, eggs, soup, or cream sauce, just sprinkle in a little, and the dish will become much more aromatic. Dried dill can keep its flavor well for about 6 months. If stored properly, it may last even longer, although the aroma will gradually fade over time. So it's best to prepare only an amount that you can reasonably use. What do you usually use dill for the most? Fish, eggs, potatoes, soup, or salad? Share your favorite dish with me in the comments. What do you think of the methods I just shared? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to support the channel. Be sure to share this video with your friends and family so everyone can discover these simple and effective ways to keep dill fresh for longer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips help you enjoy fresh, flavorful dill whenever you need it. Wishing you great success, and I'll see you in the next Clever Tricks video.